disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, my podcast partner, Joe Hartley. What's up, man?
What's going on?
If this is the first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Center Network. On Tuesdays, you got the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. Thursdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Joe, and Angel. Every other week, every other Wednesday, you got the traditional way with Brett Shumway. And then once a month, we got the extra scoop with Jeff and Peyton. For more information, check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Center Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Joe, it's showtime. What's up, man?
What's going on? Just a normal week, daily grind with the kids and work and everything. One little extra. So my best friend, his daughter got baptized on Sunday. And I know I keep saying this, but Caladians, man, they don't do anything small.
No, not at all. Not at all.
The same kind of party we've had for their wedding, for their henna, for like everything. Same thing for the baby, man. This baby is 4 months old, and they threw a party like it was going up, like it was never gonna end. It was crazy. Like, I've never seen anything like it. Loud music, passing the baby around, holding the baby in the air. Like hot potato. 4 songs, we're passing that baby around. And I got it. Like, my family looking around like don't bring that baby here. But I get right in there, man. I'm like, oh, come on, let's go. Why not? Let's see what this is all about. It was funny. I was dying. I was like I said, every time anything happens, they have a party.
Yeah.
And it's a good time, man. We have fun. The only thing is, like, it was a Sunday. So we're at the church, and that's fine. We get out of there just in time for the Lions game. And all the guys are sitting at the table watching the Lions and, doing their best to catch the score and then mingle and have, dinner and dance. And so it was fun. It was it was a good time. Had to get the kids home, finish up some homework. And it was nice to see.
Good.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with all that. And it's like I tell my family, I like to experience like different things and new things. So like I'll jump right in, man.
Your wife not so much?
They're just real reserved and they like to just sit back and watch it from afar. But I'm like, let me in.
I'm kind of like that too.
Yeah, man, just let me in there. Let's see what this is about. Everyone's having a good time. Like, come on, let's go. And that's my best friend. Like, I've known this guy over 20 years. He was right there when I got married. He'd been there for all 3 of my kids. He was there, during my son's treatment. So like, I'm happy for him, man. Like, I'm really happy for him. I get emotional sometimes being around it. So I want to make sure like everything that he did for me, like I can put it back on him.
Right.
The best I can. So yeah, I got to get in there and have a good time.
Are you the godfather?
No, you know what? That's more religious.
Okay.
And I haven't been going to church. I never got confirmed. My wife's been confirmed. I was baptized, but I was baptized like in my backyard in the lake.
Okay. I've been baptized twice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But there's a story. So for that community, like the idea of a godfather and godmother, they want someone who's going to teach them the spiritual journey. And that's not going to be me because like I don't know enough.
Okay.
So and I knew she picked her brother and her sister.
Okay.
Probably go to church and as much as they do, and they've all been confirmed and baptized, and so like I love that baby to death though. So I wish they lived a little closer. They die over there when they're like, Joe is all over I'm like, my mom and I, like, we are baby hogs. You
Okay.
know, my wife said no more babies for us. So
Well, you had. I mean, how old is your son? He's 12 or 11.
yeah, 12.
12. Yeah. So like you don't want to start over at this point anyway, right?
Oh no, I
Yeah.
couldn't even like my brother. You know, he had his first official his own child at 40,
Hmm.
and then my boy, same thing. He's this is his first child, and he's 43 like me. So I tell him, I'm like, man, I was 25 when my first was born. Like all the stuff that I could do then, good luck now chasing after them and all that.
I tell you, man. Every now and then, Melissa sometimes she gets baby fever. Now she has three daughters, and then I have Champ,
Yep.
and I still have, my stepkids from my first marriage, that I'm still in their life, and then my best friend, her daughter is my goddaughter, and so but every now and then she'll Melissa get baby fever, and I have to tell her it's like by the time this kid goes to kindergarten, we would be looking like their grandparents. Do we
Right?
really want that? I don't know if we really want that.
Man,
Champ.
my uncle did that. My uncle's got kids who are like 26, 27, and he's 73. So like he
Okay.
knows that, and I think his wife is just now turning like 60. So it's like, yeah, that's a lot. Like I couldn't even imagine. I was happy. Like I had my kids at the perfect age, I think.
Probably so. It just kind of depends on the person, because to me, honestly, I don't. I think the perfect time to start having kids is probably in your 30s, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And I say that because, if you go to college, that's 4 years right there. So that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, right? Then from 22 to about 30, I think you should be out there dating and just getting to know yourself. You don't have your
I agree.
parents, you probably first time on your own, start your savings, start, putting money away, stuff that I didn't do. You understand? And just travel a little bit and just enjoy life and mature a little bit
No, I
before
agree. I
before you
agree.
start that journey. But everybody's different. Some people mature faster than others. So
True. I mean, other than that, man, I was happy to see a Michigan win,
hmm
Lions win, Tigers are on fire. So I'm like,
that's
Detroit,
that's
man,
a
is
surprise. That
looking
came out
good
of
right
nowhere
now.
too. In
You
July,
know, they were
July
so,
people they weren't thinking about the Tigers doing anything in July.
but at the beginning of the season, everyone was like, this is supposed to be the year where we can get 60, we can get 70 wins, and
hmm
then the beginning of the year was just so bad, and then
hmm
they made a couple of trades, and they started getting stuff together. They got the bullpen firing on all cylinders, and it's like, man, they're actually looking for a playoff run now. So that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see how they do. And even if they don't even make it, that at least gives you hope for next year. Hopefully,
Yes,
they can
definitely.
do some things, make a couple moves in the off season, and get ready for next
They
year.
gotta this. They gotta start faster. Like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is how they've been because they kind of did this last year where they had a nice run at the end, but it was too late, too little, too
Yeah, I
late.
remember that.
And
That's
now
right.
it's like every game they're playing now, it's almost like they can't lose. Like they're just out there. Like when they do lose, it's by one little stupid play or something. It's crazy.
hmm
So I'm rooting for that. I got a couple of fantasy football groups, and they, on Sunday they turn into Lions talk, but then the rest of the week, everybody starts talking about the Tigers. So I'm like, dang, I got to start watching a couple of games.
I don't think you can. I mean, you got to find a way to watch it because Bally Sports is not on Xfinity. I don't
I
think.
know, I know. Well,
So
I got Hulu, but I'm not downloading or buying a Bailey Sports just to watch the Tigers. I don't know
yeah,
who
so
came up with that. I don't
yeah,
know who
so
came up with that, man. But you have to be a really big fan. I'm not
yeah.
buying all this extra stuff to watch sports.
Now I understand why people listen to the Tigers on the radio because when I'm driving around for work, doing my visits, and every now and then the Tigers are on at 1 o'clock, and I'm like, who is
Yeah,
who is listening to this right now, and why isn't it at least on AM station? I didn't know that Bally Sports wasn't on TV right now.
Yeah,
So how else would people even find out
gotta get
about them?
the
So
you gotta buy that subscription.
like you said, man, you got to be a diehard person to Tigers fan in order to do that. I don't think I would do that for any team except for probably the Lions. I don't
Yeah,
think I would. I don't think I would do that for Michigan. I don't think I would do that for the Pistons. I definitely wouldn't do it for. I'm not a big hockey guy, so I definitely wouldn't do it for
yeah,
them. So I don't know. Maybe if you got some type of package and you got all of them together, maybe
yeah. I could see that.
but who knows? How's the
How
play
you
stuff
been,
going,
man?
man?
How's the play stuff's going? She is killing that right now. Aiden did not get the one he wanted, but he still got a good part.
Okay,
He got the main hyena, and
okay,
he was going for Pumbaa. But
hmm
we tried to explain to him he's in 7th grade, and a lot of those roles are going to go to the 8th graders.
yeah,
And then next year he'll probably get something bigger.
right.
So he was kind of bummed about it at first, but all his friends are doing the play, and all his friends, a couple of them got the just regular hyenas. One of his other buddies got, I think, the young Simba. So I was like, if you don't want to do the play, that's fine. But you've been in every single one so far. You might as well suck it up and just, you got a couple of lines. You got, Ed. He's kind of a comical relief, so that's good for you. Like, you can make
hmm
everyone laugh. You can have a good time with it, and it'll be fun. So he got
I
into it, and he took it.
I did plays every year in elementary school from first grade through eighth grade. I did plays, and like you said, man, I didn't get a decent role until eighth grade my last year. And the decent role I'm talking about is I was one of Jesus's disciples.
Nice. You
you
know what?
know,
The funny part is, like, he's not into it like his sister is. Like, he's just
mm,
not. He can pretend like he is, but he's not. So the
hmm
fact that he started getting roles even back at the other place, it was pretty good for him, because that means, like, he was just naturally into it,
hmm
because he doesn't really practice that much at it, even though his sister tries to help him. But he's 12. He's not going to listen to his sister.
right.
So the fact that he's still getting stuff, and then when he got the big role last year in the end of the year play, he did listen to his sister a little bit because he was kind of nervous
hmm
because he had like 15 lines. But this time around, he'll probably practice a little bit with her. And she was trying to work with him to get the Pumbaa, because Timon and Pumbaa have Hakuna Matata. So she
Right.
was working with that a little bit to help him. And I think he was if they had understudies, I think he would have gotten that, because he was pretty close. We know a
Okay.
couple of the people who picked the people, and they said that he had a really good audition. So I was happy for him. I was like, if this is something you really want to do and enjoy, like, keep going, man. Ava took a while before she got anything good, and now she's getting better parts, and she's only going to keep getting better parts down the road. So
Okay. That's good, man. That's good. Um, have you ever stopped and looked at our page, Martial Arts Internet Network, on YouTube?
yes,
I didn't really, every now and then it'll come across my, my app or whatever, or if I'm on YouTube watching on TV. And it's always a surprise when I see how many views Fist Kicks and Flicks, has. Sometimes we got a couple that might be like 10, 20. And then you see some of the 60. It's like, oh wow, 60 people watch this. And then you see a couple of them in the hundreds or thousands, and I never ever I don't I very rarely even look. So it's always a surprise when I go
I
and see that
just
number, because I don't
go
look
and
at.
skim it every once in a while.
Yeah, because I don't I never think about YouTube. I just think about the podcast going out, and I don't really consider myself a YouTuber or with any of us. I always just think about the podcast app, so that's kind of cool to get that little shot every now and then. One of ours is at 11,000 views for one of our movie
Yeah, isn't
reviews.
it like the Ninja 3 or
Yeah,
1?
one of them. Yeah, one of them. I'm like, why are people what is it? I asked Travis. I had to ask him. I was like, dude, what did we do? What did you do with this movie that's different than the other ones? And how can we get the other movies, the other shows to be like this? And me and Travis couldn't figure it out. He was like, I don't know, man.
I think there's
I was choked watching it,
that.
but I wasn't expecting to see that.
I think it has something to do with like that. It just has a cult following.
I guess. Well, they didn't
So
like they must did not like what we said about it because I think we killed that movie.
of course we did. It was terrible.
Yeah, man. But anyway, I'm good, man. Yesterday was my birthday. Had a nice birthday. I worked. I didn't take time off or anything like that, so it was a
I
normal
always,
day to me.
when I go to work on my birthday, everyone's all like, "Why are you here?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"I'm
yeah,
43.
yeah.
Like, what am I gonna do between everyone at my house is at work or at
hmm
school? What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just chill at my house and wait for everyone to get home.
Right,
Okay, that's what I
right.
said. I'm like, no, I'm gonna come home. My family will, buy me a cake. I'll have a nice dinner, probably at my mom's, or we'll go out.
hmm
And they'll give me a cake and we'll sing happy birthday, open gifts, and it'll be a good night.
That's exactly what
It's
happened
like
too,
I
Joe.
don't I don't need the day off. I'd rather save my day off for something else. So
Yeah, that's exactly what happened too, man. I went and taught karate. Champ called me and he was like, Dad, what are you doing? I was like, well, I just got done with work and I'm at the karate school now. He was like, you're teaching tonight? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna teach. Like, what am I? He said, you're not having a birthday party? I was like, no, I'm not gonna have a birthday party. He was like, why you not having a party? I was like, Champ, it's okay. Like, I'm not thinking about it. But I tell you what, Joe, next year my birthday is gonna be on a Wednesday. And I told Melissa, I was like, we got to do something because I hate Wednesday. The day Wednesdays, I hate them. I've hated them since I was a kid. I do not like Wednesdays at all.
what's wrong with
So
Wednesdays?
I don't know, man. You know how yesterday looked, where it just rained all day and was gray and gloomy. That is
Yeah.
Wednesdays to me. It seems like every Wednesday is like that. You know, so I know today wasn't like that, but every Wednesday is just gray and gloomy and rainy and just I don't know, man. So I know my birthday's gonna be on a Wednesday next year, and I don't think I want to be here. So me and Melissa will talk, and we'll figure out where we can go. Just so I could take my mind off it being a Wednesday on my birthday next year. And go somewhere and have fun. Every
Have
other day I
fun.
don't mind. Actually, you know what? I could tolerate Sundays. I could tolerate Mondays. They're not the best days, but I tolerate them. Wednesdays, I don't like. I
Mondays
just
are good for me because that's my Friday at work.
yeah.
Because I got
So
Tuesday, Wednesdays off. So Mondays work really well for me right now.
see, Mondays though, I don't like Mondays because nobody likes Mondays anyway. It's the beginning of the week.
Yep.
It's just I don't know, man. I just don't know. But so yeah, man. Melissa made me dinner. She made a cake for me. I honestly think that was the first time anyone has ever baked me a cake. I can't remember anyone else ever baking me a cake for my birthday. So that was nice. And like you said, man, her and DJ were here and sung happy birthday. I got a bunch of text messages and messages on social media saying happy birthday. That was really, really nice. I appreciate that. So yeah, man, just kind of, just relaxed and enjoyed myself, enjoyed turning another year older. Let's see about the weekend. What happened this weekend? Nothing much really happened over the weekend. Not that I can think of. We just kind of just went out, went shopping. Champ was with us. Hung out over here Saturday and Sunday. That's it, man. I just been drawing, getting back into the rhythm of that. Getting my characters back in order.
Good,
Excited
man.
about what
Good.
I'm doing with that. Um, let's see what else. Like you said, watch the game, watch the Lions. Enjoy that. They're gonna be on Monday night football this next week.
I know I wasn't even paying attention to that, and I was looking through some of the stuff. I was like, oh, they're on Monday. Dang.
Yeah, and I think they're playing the Seahawks too, right?
Yeah.
And I hope they win because the last few years they played the Seahawks, they have lost to the Seahawks. So I'm really hoping they win
It's
this
a
year.
home game, but the Seahawks are looking. They got that Ryan Grubb, and he's putting together a pretty good offense, and they got some good weapons over there.
Yeah, yeah. And Geno Smith finds a way to beat the Lions. If you look it up, the last 2 or 3 years, he's beaten us.
Well,
You
I'm going to
know,
tell you exactly what they're going to do. They're going to do the same thing Tampa Bay did. Is they're going to get it out to their slot receiver and dump it off, or they're going to come up the middle with the tight ends. So they need to double Jackson Smith and Jigba, who by the way is an Ohio State guy, so screw him anyway. Put our top dude on DK Metcalf, and then let Aiden Hutchinson tee off. And if we can get Anceloni back, that would help too.
Yeah,
because you put that pressure on Geno that we know how to do, and we just cover down down the middle, we should be fine. Because they don't really hit the big long balls.
Is Branch okay? I saw he got hurt. He got a little banged
Branch
up.
Is hurt, and Arnold is still a little green.
Yes, very, very, very. I think he's going to be good in the future. He's going to be very, very good.
Yeah,
but right now, he's still
he
learning.
He can hang with that. He can hang with that top dog, but he keeps making dumb penalties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, and he's going to learn over time. Yeah, and he's going to get better. But Kirby Joseph is back there. I like Kirby Joseph. So.
I think he was in and out of the last game though.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, man, if that secondary could just get it together, I mean, they kind of got it together, but they need to get everyone healthy, and they need to put it all together. Man, the offense finally looking pretty good.
It feels like we're right there, doesn't it? It feels like the Lions are right there.
But people got to remember, this is exactly how things went down last year. Because after that Tampa Bay game, everyone was like, but we didn't do anything dumb to lose that game. It was a tough, hard-fought game. Like I said, they gave us the first 2 games they gave us were the teams that we knocked out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they played us like it was a playoff game.
Yeah, yeah.
So 1-1, now 2-1. I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's gonna be a fun ride, man. Like I said, I'm just enjoying it. I'm just enjoying myself, So we haven't been able to really enjoy ourselves as Lion fans. So
I was really hoping that Green Bay would kind of lose a couple of games while Jordan Love was out, and I was hoping that Sam Darnold wasn't good. Because now you got Minnesota just looking on fire. Mm-hmm. Green Bay is still playing good. Like, dang. Yeah. It would have been nice for us to be 3-0 and Minnesota and Green Bay to be like 1-2.
Well, but you know what, man? I like the fact I'm not one of those people that wants to be the big dog in a bad conference, because that goes against you. You get knocked for that. I like that Minnesota. I agree. I like that Minnesota and Green Bay are threats, and I want us to beat them. And if we can beat them, that makes me a little bit more comfortable when we go into the playoffs. Because sometimes you see teams that don't look. I mean, they'll look like world beaters in their conference, and then they get into the playoffs and then they lose. And that's because they're not. And I'm just talking about all around sports, just not with football. They're not used to playing stiff competition. But if you play in stiff competition, when you get into the playoffs, you're up to the challenge.
Like the Cowgirls.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Exactly. And I haven't been a Cowboys fan. I used to be a Cowboys fan up until a few years ago, and I'm not now. And I won't be. And that's a whole different story. I'm not going to get into that on this show. It's a whole different story. But yeah, I'm no longer a Cowboys fan. But I was a Cowboys fan since Emmitt Smith and Deion was on the team, and Troy Aikman and all those guys.
That was a good team, man.
Yeah,
it was hard not to be fans. That was a good team.
Yeah. But up until recently, no, I'm not a Cowboys fan anymore. So
no, they're hot garbage now.
All right. Let's see. Other than that, kids are good, man. Yeah, man. Other than that, man, everything is going good. I got some more home repairs to do. Got some stuff coming up next week. Got a new faucet going on my sink and repairing my upstairs bathroom. Got a leaky faucet up there, so we got that being taken care of. But other than that, man, yeah, everything else is going good. Oh yeah. So we got one more tournament next weekend, October 5th, Detroit. What is it? Is it Motor City Classics? Master Curtis Butler's tournament. It's the last one of the year for the Michigan Sport Karate Circuit. We have 5 students who are probably going to get plaques at the end of the year who have placed.
Good.
A few of the girls, they're either going to get first or second place, for the circuit. So I'm happy with them. I got 2 other girls that are in the 8, 9 year old. It's just them. They're 1 and 2, both of them. So I'm happy. Like, both of them are going to get. You know,
Yeah.
they have more points than anybody else that's in their division. And both of them, every tournament, they're getting first or second. This last tournament, they both got third and fourth, but most of the other tournaments, they both, they've been getting first and second. So I'm happy with that.
That's
But
real good.
I had a talk with the kids because all of the 5 students that are placing are all girls. I don't have any boys that are placing. It is all girls. And I told the boys yesterday, man, I said it shows because these girls are in here working out. They're getting stronger, they're getting faster, and they are lapping you guys. They're just not winning at the tournaments. They're also, they knocking y'all around the school. Like, come on, fellas, like what's
Yeah.
going on? You can't be in here being silly and playing, and not taking this stuff seriously, especially when you guys are blue belts and red belts and green belts, intermediates and advanced. You gotta start stepping up because you're gonna be, looking at black belt pretty soon, and these girls are taking it seriously, and it's showing. I see them improving all of the time. You know, it's something else.
You gotta step the game up.
Yep. All right. So let's talk about this movie, Crank 2. Um,
So, honestly, I guess I only watched this once. And I
mhm,
watched it with my father-in-law.
mhm.
And I just remember at the end of it, we were kind of scratching our heads, but it's the exact same movie as the first one.
You know,
I mean,
I think
the same gimmicks, the same they changed up the scene with him and his girlfriend, but I mean it was basically the same thing. It was just another public act of indiscretion. And
ridiculousness.
I know, but the only thing they changed, instead of him having a heart full of poison, now they gave him like a mechanical heart that he has to shock himself back. Instead of taking a bunch of uppers and adrenaline, now he has to shock himself to get his power. And the way he has to do all this stuff, like, is just crazy.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you now. I didn't like this movie. I can't.
I
I
know you
can't help
didn't.
it.
You didn't like the first one. You were gonna like this one.
I looked at Melissa because she wasn't really watching it. She was sitting next to me, but she had her phone and she had her laptop and she was doing stuff on her laptop. And every now and then she would look up and she would see the movie and she was like, "What is this? What
Oh,
is
it was
going on?"
ridiculous. It
And
was ridiculous.
I think Joe did this intentionally to get a rise out of me. Like, what is this? This movie made no sense. I am putting this movie, Joe. I'm putting this on the same level. Not Karate Christmas Miracle. I'm not putting it down there.
But in Street Fighter,
I'm putting it with the Karate Kangaroos. That's what I'm doing. I'm putting it with the Karate Kangaroos. That's where I'm putting this movie with Angels Karate Kangaroos. Because man, listen. Dude, I honestly thought, Joe, when you said there was part 2, I think we ended the last podcast. I was like, well, he's dead. He can't survive. He fell out of a helicopter. He fell through the sky, caught his girlfriend, landed on a car, and then hit the cement. And even though his eyes were open, I was like, no. I was like, so this second movie is probably him thinking about past life, something that he did before. It's no way he could have survived. And somehow he survived. Now, this is the killer part. He fall from a helicopter, which is ridiculous. But to me, that wasn't even the crazy part. The crazy part is the whole last movie. They said that he was dying, and there was
yeah.
nothing that could be done.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to die. That was it. he should have just been dead just from that. He should have come back. Like, I don't
I
understand
said the
how.
same thing. I
I
said the
don't.
same thing.
I don't understand how he was able
I agree.
to survive. If the
How
kid,
is he able to survive?
if the fall
Have a
didn't kill him,
heart. Yeah, have his heart survive, and then so the reasoning that this is all happening to him, because I'm thinking like, why are they taking his heart out and giving him this artificial heart? Now the idea is you find out halfway through the movie, there's some Chinese mob boss that wants his heart, who needs a new heart. But you want to give them the heart of a guy who's supposed to be poisoned because he says it's a super strong heart.
No, that was
because
not.
of
That was
everything he
not what was told.
survived.
No, that was not. That was not what was told to us in the first movie. The
Yeah,
first
I
one was
know.
there was no cure in the first one. So even if he was able to survive longer than what he did, it was because he kept saving himself. He kept doing
Yes.
the things that he needed to do to keep going. But that heart should have still been poisoned.
Yes.
You know,
But they're saying the guy wants his heart because you survived our culture's strongest poison. But how did he survive it?
right, because he kept doing different things to
Did the adrenaline of falling from the helicopter like jumpstart his heart forever? Now he all the poison is gone because that adrenaline just pushed it all out. Like, I don't know.
Man, I didn't know that all you have to do is if somebody is having a cardiac arrest and dies, is just take their heart out and just give them another one,
I
and
guess.
they'll come back to life. I did not know that. And Joe, when you were watching this, were you under the impression that this just happened? Like he just fell out of, because that's what they showed us. They start the movie where the last one left off. So we see him
Yes.
falling out of the sky again, and we see him fall onto the car. We see him hit the pavement, and as soon as he hits the pavement, a van pulls up, and they just pretty much scoop him up and take his body away.
Literally with a shovel.
Literally,
with a snow shovel.
yes, yes. Yes, they scoop him up, throw him in a van, and drive off with him. And I'm under the impression that this is a continuation. But we find out that he does die. And he's dead for what? They didn't even say how long. But when the last movie ended, and at some point in this movie, when people start seeing him again, it's 3 months later. That did not seem like that. It was that amount of time. It seemed like they just picked him up. They just took him to the hospital or wherever he was, took his heart out and replaced it. I didn't see anything that said 3 months later.
The craziest part to me, no, they didn't really say anything. Just everybody was asking where he was for 3 months. The craziest thing to me was they're doing open heart surgery on him, removing his heart and putting in the fake heart or the mechanical heart, and he's awake. Why is he awake through that?
Yes. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, so was he dead for 3 months and then woke back up?
I don't know.
They didn't explain.
They were keeping him alive. I don't know. No, they didn't explain any of it.
I'm surprised he survived the fall. I don't understand that. That's bad storytelling.
For the sake of no, I agree. For the sake of the movie, though, we just gotta it happened.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
So immediately, the guy who has his heart also wants him to die slowly, and they're talking about they got a whole graft of all the parts that they're going to take off of him slowly.
But Joe, that's what I don't understand. If he was already dead, why wake him back up so he can die again? That doesn't even make sense.
Because that's the people who wanted him. That's the part I didn't understand. So the Chinese want his heart, but then it's also the same guy who saved him explains why they want his heart. But then he's also on that guy's side. So now that he saved him, like they saved each other, so I guess they're even. So now he's going to go ahead and kill him. So he has to kill that guy, but that's later. But I don't think it's the Chinese that want him dead. It's the Colombians.
Yeah.
Because as we find out, he basically killed most of the Colombians.
But that's not how they made it seem in the beginning of the movie. It kind of
No,
seemed like the Chinese wanted him dead.
that's what I thought too. But it has to be
Hmm.
the Colombians
Oh
who
yeah, I
wanted
agree.
him dead
Hmm.
because the Chinese just wanted his heart.
Hmm.
And then we find out there was a third Colombian brother who was pissed off at him for killing the other two brothers. And I mean, that gets even weirder. I mean, everything. This movie's nuts. This just everything that
Okay,
happens in this movie is crazy.
so Joe, so my next question is: if the Chinese just wanted his heart, why did they even put in a fake heart, a mechanical heart?
Because they were using that to keep him alive long enough to torture him, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it did. Torture. He's
I
dead.
agree.
He was
I know.
supposedly dead. I didn't. I did not. I didn't understand.
No, I agree. I was wondering the same thing. I was like, why are
Whoever
we
this
keeping him
were
alive?
high, they had to been high on some good stuff. They were high on something because this was just a bunch of ideas that was put together for for the sake of
Half
just
baked
somebody
ideas.
wanted to do the
Half
movie. I don't think it was a script. It didn't seem like it was a script. It just seemed like that it was an idea. Like, let's do this part of the movie. Let's do this in the movie. Let's go.
think it was
Action.
you think it was improv?
It seemed like a Tubi movie that just had a budget. That's what this movie seemed like to me. A Tubi movie that had a
Okay, but
budget
they
because
made a second movie, so I didn't even look it up. But the first movie had to make money if they made a second one.
yeah, I guess. I'm assuming so. Would it have made money if Jason wasn't in it?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. At least he did some martial arts in this movie. He did some, disarmament and threw a
The
couple
first
techniques.
5 minutes of movie had more karate in it than the
Yeah,
first whole movie.
yeah. Well, the
But
first
then it
one didn't
just
have
kept.
any. I don't think it. I don't think he did anything in the first
I
movie.
mean, he
I thought.
fought at the beginning when he said I'm sorry and he started fighting the whole black gang.
Oh yeah.
But
That's
that
right.
was about the only fighting. And then maybe he threw a kick or something later. But other
Yeah,
than that, yeah, it was just a lot of shooting and
yeah.
then jumping out of a helicopter. Um, so he's on a rampage to find what do you say, Ricky Verona or whatever, and
Hmm.
he's
No,
asked.
it wasn't him. That was the first movie. This movie, he's looking for somebody else.
Oh yeah, Wang,
Yeah, yeah,
Vang,
yeah.
Ricky
That's what he's looking
Vang, or something. I thought they were saying Bang, but it was when they showed it, it was VANG
for. Hmm.
Vang.
Hmm.
So at first he's asks somebody on the road, and he gets shot out of the car, and then they come back to help him, and he's like, he literally says, "Give me a jump," and they're looking at his car. His car's all messed up, and he goes, "Just do it."
Yeah.
He uses the jumper cables on himself.
Yes.
He
Yes. And
uses
then runs.
his nipple as a ground and puts it on his tongue
Yes. Yes.
to get his electrical charge.
Yeah. So
I
he
mean,
can
here's the
run.
problem. That would kill it. I don't care if that can charge you or not. That's going to kill you. There's nothing about that that's going to
everything,
kill you.
everything he did in this movie to charge himself would have killed him, especially the end.
Yes. Oh,
Especially the end.
the ending, he should have died. Even if he didn't die from the electricity, he should have died of third-degree burns.
He should have died from the fall.
Yeah, I know.
He fell backwards. Anyway, we'll get to that part. Go ahead, man.
They're gonna do like a third movie, and we're just gonna find out he's Superman or something.
You know
what? It's already been too long. They would
Yeah,
have done it already.
exactly. This movie came out in
But
2009.
they did leave it open for
They did.
if they
They
wanted
did.
to.
They did, and that was stupid. That was so stupid.
I would die because I'm gonna make you watch it.
Man, I think
It's gonna be so dumb. It's gonna be so dumb.
I think I would have Travis step in for me on that one, man. I was like, I can't. Do this. I can't do this again. Yeah.
I want to see what Angel would have said about these movies.
You know, a part of me thinks that Angel would say these movies are stupid, but Angel also enjoys movies and he enjoys action movie, and I kind of think like maybe he might get into it just on the action and not care so much about the story.
50-50.
Yeah, I really don't know what he would say, man.
I'll ask him. Yeah, when we see him, just to see what he thinks, if he's
Yeah.
seeing him at all. He meets this super annoying. I don't even know what she is. She's like Filipino, or I don't know what
Something.
this girl is.
I know what
but
she is. She's a hooker. That's what she is. She's a
well,
prostitute.
but
That's
she's
exactly what she is. And she's
she
on something.
tethers herself to Jason to Chevy for a while, calling herself his girlfriend. But he kind of needs her for a minute because she's telling him like where to find these people and how to find. But this girl's just as bad as him. She gets hit by a car at one point, goes flying through the air, and somehow survives.
Yeah. It's all types of ridiculousness. All types.
We see. I don't remember the name of his buddy that was helping him in the first one.
Okay. I don't even remember the character, but his name was was it Kalo or Kayla?
Kalo.
Yeah. I don't even remember him. Like what?
No, remember he's the one. He called him. It was like one of the first people he called after he talked to the doctor and his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. He
called him to tell him to stake out and find Verona, and he's the one that found him, and then tried to help him when they were beating him down, and then they killed him.
Man, I completely blanked out because
I
was thinking like, what this is.
He looked just like the brother because the brother shows up. They look.
Was this the same
character?
Okay.
It was the same character just showing up as the brother, because when he first shows up, Chevy looks at him like, "Dude, you're dead." And the way he died, like he got stabbed a bunch of times by like 6 guys.
Man, I wonder why I blanked out and can't remember that.
Well, because you just didn't like this movie. But so when he shows up at first, he's looking at it, he thought it was the and he said, "No, I'm his brother." And he saves him. He's on a motorcycle. But we find out very, very soon that this guy should not be driving.
Right.
Because
he didn't die years ago, I'll never know.
Oh my God. This guy is, I mean, the brother couldn't fight, but at least he tried. This guy, he called it full body Tourette's. Okay. I got kids with Tourette's, but they don't have anything like this. And I know this is a thing, but like out of nowhere, this guy will just start.
I thought they were exaggerating. This is a thing.
It is a thing, but they were exaggerating.
Okay.
But I mean, he's like literally is on a motorcycle, and all of a sudden, like his arm and everything is, going all over the place. It was crazy. But yeah, that I feel like every character they kept giving us in this, including his girlfriend this time, just had some weird quirk about him. Because even one of the main Colombians that was chasing at him, the guy was tattooed from head to toe, face and everything, had a goofy looking grill, just crazy, just weird.
Yeah, he pretty much taken the place of Verona, it seemed like.
Yeah, so the first place he was told to look was called the Social Club, but it looked like it was a crack house or a whore house or both.
Yes.
Then the second place he ends up at is a strip club, and that's where he runs into Eve after 3 months. Right. And she's on stage, and must be banging or dating the manager, because the manager, the second Chevy shows up and takes her off the stage, he's got something to say. But I'm sorry. Okay, I feel like that's typical. Why is the manager never like, where's a bodyguard?
I don't know.
Is this scrawny, just goofy looking little weirdo. And I'm sorry, but if Chevy walks into my club and that's what I look like and that's how I fight, I better have somebody big to get my back, because I'm not confronting that dude.
If somebody is supposed to be dead and now they are in my establishment, I'm not fighting them. I'm going to think. But I'm saying
I don't even know if he knows who Chevy is. But just on pure looks, this guy compared to the manager shouldn't have done anything. Like, what made him think he was going to do something in that situation?
I don't know.
What did she do to him to make him think he was on something that he was going to be Superman for the minute? Because I think she could have beat him up. And I mean, she kind of does later.
She did.
That's what I'm saying. But he just had no bit. He should have just stayed out of it. But he really like he tried. Like I said, this is literally the same movie. They did all the same stuff. It was just instead of getting some adrenaline, he just needed to be shocked.
Yeah.
He was
So
finding all kinds
fight,
of ways to shock himself.
a fight breaks out in the strip club, and he's beating up people, and then the police come and they're fighting outside, and his girlfriend tries to help, and then another stripper comes outside, which
Yeah.
we don't know who she is. They gave us no introduction to who she is, and some reason she jumps in the fight and she gets arrested with Eve, and they both are put into the back of the police car. And then Chevy ends up getting the police car, and he jumps in and beats the cops up, and he drives away.
The funny thing is, the cops should have shot him right away because
Yeah.
why they're shocking him?
Yeah.
They're shocking him, and it's powering him up.
Right.
They should
exactly.
The second that he was like enjoying that, they should have shot him.
Now
yeah,
this is
he
the
ends
part.
up
This is
taking
the
out the
part that was
cops.
dumb to me. That was really starting to piss me off. Is because okay, it seemed like just more ridiculousness after more ridiculousness that was unexplained. Like why is this? Why are these things happening? Right. So they're driving away, and his girlfriend is damn near molested and raped in the back of this police car for no reason, no explanation. It's like, does this?
No, because
was
that girl was high.
She
That
had
girl
to
was
been.
high. That girl was high, and Eve was just had tape on her nipples. That was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if you're a high stripper or whatever, you see this fine girl in the back and she's half naked. What are you gonna do?
But
I don't
she's
know.
thinking, but I would think like she knows who she is because they've been working together.
I don't even.
You
You know what? I didn't even think about that. But
yeah,
yeah,
it's just like why is this happening between them? Like where does this come from? It was just weird. And this whole time Eve is trying to talk to Chevy, and meanwhile she's trying to fight this girl off in the back of the
I know.
the police
She
car.
does eventually headbutt her in the head. But the
Yeah.
two things that kill me, the two things about this scene that kill me is so he's going to the what I guess a horse track, but they pull into a group of picketing porn actors.
Yes.
What? That's the part I didn't. Why are they picketing outside of a racetrack?
That's why I said, man, it seemed like this movie was just. It just seemed like it was improv. It said, "Okay, there's no script. Who could have wrote this?"
And it took sense. It took me a few minutes, and I kept looking. I go, "Is that it? That is Ron Jeremy?"
Yes. Yeah.
The most random. That's how. Yeah. At first, I didn't know what because they were making like real weird. There were all the stuff they were saying, and now I'm looking. I'm like, I had to go backwards. I'm like, oh, that's why Ron Jeremy's there because these are all porn actors like wanting better wages or something. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But he again. Okay, I don't know how Eve stays with him. He leaves her in the back of the police car.
And another cop car pulls up. Yeah, another cop car pulls up. And you would think the cops would like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Because the cops are there to break up the protests. They weren't there to follow them. But if you see somebody who is clearly not a cop in the driver's seats.
But he just left. I was like, is he going to open the back door and let her out so she can come with him? No, he just leaves her there.
Yeah.
And then he goes to a dog park and finds a shot collar on a dog.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
And then they don't even show Eve does get out, and she doesn't even yell at him. She just I thought for sure she should.
The police okay with that? They didn't mind. Like a stolen cop car.
They had other problems. They had other problems because they were dealing with the protest and everything else going on. And that's when what's his face's brother shows up, and then they get in all kinds of.
We kind of missed the part. So basically, what we missed was, what he is doing is he is trying to get his heart back. And
yes.
So the guy that he was looking for, you said his name was Vang, right? I believe that was his name.
It sounded like Bang, but it was with a V. It was Vang.
So he believes he has his heart. So that's what he's been doing. So all of these different places he's going and stops is because someone tells him that Vang is there.
Yes.
So that's what's going on. So that's what he's chasing after. Meanwhile, he has these other guys chasing after him.
Yes, the Colombians.
Yes, the Colombians. Okay.
And Vang is walking around with a cooler, which he
Yes, walking
assumes
around with a
has his
cooler.
heart in it.
Yeah, because don't we see that at the beginning of the movie? We see someone take his heart when they take his heart out, they put it in the cooler.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was locked.
Right.
And then we get the part we talked about, which will just his doctor buddy tells him if he doesn't have electricity, friction will work. And that's when he's on a racetrack and they're just doing a bunch of ridiculousness.
Yeah,
Softcore.
so the first thing he decides to do, he's trying to rub up on a random stranger's arm. Then he rubs up his whole body. He's dry humping a senior citizen.
Did you watch the outtakes at the end with her?
No, the hell I didn't.
they had bloopers at the end.
Okay.
They had bloopers with her. She said something like, that's the first time somebody ever just went half on me.
So he dry humps this senior citizen, and then he eventually sees Eve. He comes out of nowhere and he sees her. And what do they do, Joe? Oh.
It was basically like a porno. It was bad.
They fall.
But they were down on the racetrack. Yeah, they fall on the racetrack.
And they decide to have sex on the racetrack while the horses are racing. And the horses are jumping over them and they're doing all types of tricks. And the crowd is cheering them on.
All types of tricks.
Yeah, because
that's a good way to put it, Gene. That's a good way.
They would show the crowd. Then they show them. They show Vang because he's now stopped. Vang he knows that he's being followed, but he doesn't recognize him at this time. So then we see him in the crowd cheering, and we go back and we see them doing something else, and it's just constant different position changes and all types of craziness. And then he finally sees Vang and he goes after him and just leaves her again.
No. They came out with a fire hose and sprayed her.
Only her. Right.
They sprayed her and he walked away from her. She mentioned it because she said, that's the last time he leaving me with my ass all up in the air.
Right. Because that's all he's done for both movies. He just left her.
He was like, well, thanks for bringing me back to life. See you later.
Right.
Worst boyfriend ever.
Right.
Just pulls his pants up and walks away and go get his heart. And she's still she's a ride or die because she's still on his team the whole time. It's ridiculous. It's so crazy. Meanwhile, all this is going on, and his doctor friend sent his girlfriend out to go find the heart because we find out he catches up with Vang, and Vang does not have his heart. And they find out the heart has already been put in to the mob boss 3 months ago. And he finds this out because he gets in the car with the guy he let go, who helped him at the end of the last movie.
And what was in the cooler that he had been chasing, Joe?
Did they show what it was?
No, they never show. They never talk about it.
They made it seem like it was a penis or something because that's
it was something. It was something disgusting or inappropriate.
Because he was like, "Why does somebody walk around with that?"
Yeah. And the whole movie, that's what Vang is doing. He's walking around with this cooler, and the prostitute from earlier in the movie said that he always has that box with him. She said that, So you would think it was something of importance, but they never told us. They never explained it. After the scene, they never even mentioned it again, or him. It was just like, oh, that was a waste of time. That was a waste of more than half of the movie of us watching him chase this man for no reason.
Yeah, it was a hot mess. So when he finds that out, he gets his buddy sent out and goes to find the heart. Man, what? How does this doctor? Why does this doctor want to help him so bad? Like, I don't think he's paying him that well.
No, I just think they were friends.
I know, but Like literally, he's putting his girlfriend's life on the line to go get this heart,
Mm-hmm.
and she just
She
got no
kind of
problem
seemed.
with it.
She kind of seemed like a prostitute too.
She did, or
And
she was pretending. I don't know.
yeah, Melissa even asked me that. She's like, "Is she a prostitute?" I'm like, "I don't know. I have no idea. It kind of seemed like it, but I don't know."
It did. It really did. Uh, there's. I don't even know if I want to admit. Well, because he messed up the tattooed weirdo, because he didn't get Chevy when he had a chance, his boss makes him cut his nipples off, and
Yeah,
that was just. It was really weird. Just
yeah.
like
And
I
no,
said, this
I
every time
don't
you
remember the
think
name of that guy either. That was the guy that was
I
that
don't
was one of
even.
the Colombians that was chasing him.
Yeah,
And
there's
that
don't even care.
yeah,
Doesn't matter who their name is because they're stupid. Eve ends up getting arrested and still protects Chevy.
yep.
Chev,
And
whatever his freaking name is.
how did she get
And
out?
she gets bailed out.
Yeah, they don't say who.
I
They
think it
never
was the
say.
doctor.
Did they? I never saw her with them.
I know, but he was at the end. She's in the operating
Yeah,
room.
yeah, she was there at the very very end. But how
That's
did
the
the
only
doctor
reason it
know
made me
she was arrested?
true. Who knows? Yeah, they didn't never really say how they find out. He uh he is following a moving ambulance who has a patient that he basically almost killed,
Mm-hmm.
and he holds them up by gunpoint to get a new
Mm-hmm.
battery for his heart,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
just he walks out of there
I thought
because
the
he
guy did
sees.
die. I thought the guy
Yeah, the
did
guy
die.
did die. He did. He told him, and then just because this movie hasn't been random enough, the nurse that he held up at the hospital in the first movie is in a session
Yes, yes.
session with a psychiatrist,
Yep,
and she's giving him she's actually sounds like she wants him to bang
yep.
her, but
Yes. That all of that came out of nowhere too. You're
yeah, but
watching the movie.
I think it was just purely just to piss us off,
It had to
because
be because that made no
they show
sense
a
at
whole
all.
sequence where this guy's got PTSD. He's going back. He's got some weird psychiatrist who's just giving him good information, but she's like almost
He's getting
getting off on it.
yeah, she
And
is.
then randomly, a bullet that he shoots bounces off a mailbox and kills the
Yeah,
nurse.
yeah. Shoots him in the head. Just he had nothing to do with the movie or anything that was going on. He's in an office getting some therapy and just
Yeah,
says, he just decides to stand up and this is the first day of the rest of his life or something like that. And boom, got shot in the head.
I want to see what scenes got cut to fit that one in, because I bet you there's a better scene than that one that they added instead. It was so random. I was like,
Yeah,
it was
very
very
random.
random.
Very.
I mean, what else? Oh, so when he does catch up to Vang, and they're fighting, who's hallucinating that it's almost like they're having like a Godzilla fight. What was that about?
I don't know. That's why I told you, man.
Okay,
Everything changes, and
I was
they
trying to figure that out.
they looked like it looked like Power Rangers when
Yeah, it was.
when they formed into the Zords and they started fighting. That's what it looked like, and
Well,
it was almost like it was them, but they almost looked like somebody had mask of them,
but
and
that's
they
what I
were.
was saying. Like, who one of them was hallucinating, but why?
I think everybody
Was
was hallucinating who made the movie. That's who was hallucinating. That's what
okay.
happened.
So
I told you,
it was
whoever did
super
this
random.
decide.
Yeah,
This movie was ridiculous.
it was
It was
super random.
yeah.
Yeah, they never really showed us what was in there. The doctor's girlfriend finds the old man with Chev's heart and lures him back, and they shoot him up with something to knock him out.
It was
But
the same stuff from the first movie. It was that Chinese virus.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, because the doctor says it.
Oh yeah, you're right. And then Chev gets picked up by the tattooed guy, and he gets knocked out, and then he kind of goes into some weird hallucination where he's on like Geraldo or something, Luke Connard show, as a child, and like
Yes,
they're giving
another
us,
random thing. Another
and then
stupid random thing.
when he wakes up, he's being pulled behind a boat.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. And then,
Yeah,
like I
he's
said,
in the water. He's in the water.
the crazy
Drown.
Filipino hooker is found by the guy who's looking to avenge his brother,
Mm-hmm.
and they know each other, which I don't even know what that's about.
No, I don't. No. I was actually counting down for this movie to hurry up and get over with. And I honestly was I promise you, Joe, I was getting ready to turn the movie off because I was at this point, I was like, I can't finish it. I can't watch anymore. Maybe I should just let Joe tell me what happened. But no, I stuck it through and I really wish I would have just stopped. I really
You
wish
should
that
have. You should, because the ending's the worst part of this whole movie.
when I saw that other character show back up from the first movie, go ahead, Joe. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so we find out, now that pretty much all the Chinese are taken care of, or the whatever they are, and he's waiting to get back and get his new heart.
He doesn't know that the doctor has the Chinese
Yeah, I know,
guy.
but we find out that it's the brother of the two guys that he killed.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy's crazy. He's just crazy. Colombian. But he saved his brother's mind, kind of.
Yeah, in his whole head.
We look over the head. You know what? This is you know what it was? They got this idea from Futurama. Have you ever seen Futurama?
I've seen Futurama. I mean, it's been,
You know
over
what I'm talking
20 years.
about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, I don't know
people. They keep people's heads who are like old presidents and famous people. They keep their heads in a jar that's full of water, and they got tubes everywhere, and so they're alive, but they're not. The only difference is this one, his brain is alive, but the rest of him isn't, and he only talks. He talks like Stephen Hawking style.
Yeah. So this is the main guy from the last movie. The same guy that fell out of the helicopter with him. Somehow his brain and head survived.
Yeah.
Somehow his face wasn't even messed up. It didn't have any scars on or anything. But it is what it is.
They touched it up, I guess. And so yeah, we got Weirdo in the tank with a head. We got the brother who's got some kind of crazy torturing whip system that he's hitting them with.
I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed if I was the brother, the head. Like if Travis gonna bring me back to life, he has all this technology to bring me back to life, and you can't make me a body. You can't at least make me an android. You just got me in a head in a fish tank. Is that what you're gonna do? Come on, I would have been pissed. We did miss another part of this stupid movie, which was absolutely ridiculous. But it was at the beginning of the movie when he escapes from that hospital, and he takes that gun and he shoves it up that guy's ass.
Oh yeah, I skipped that on purpose because it was dumb.
What was the purpose of even showing us that or doing that? When I saw that
he wanted information, and that's how he got it.
No, I mean the creators of this movie. I was like, why would you do that? Why would you make that? Come on. All right, let's wrap this shit up.
They thought it was funny. Okay, so basically at the end of this, the Chinese show up and start fighting the Colombians, and then the buddy who wanted to get revenge for his brother shows up with his people. I don't know. I'm gonna call them the village people because that's who they reminded me of. That's my nice way of saying it because I'm not 100% sure if I'm right on that, but That's kind of what it seemed like, and good for them. And everyone's killing everybody. The women that were on the rooftop were dying. The bad guys are dying. He's losing the fight to the brother, and Chev is losing power. So his last ditch effort, and this was super dumb. He's gonna climb a telephone pole and go to the breaker box and shock himself one last time, which should have been the last time because it should have killed him. That's so many voltage. I don't care which, that's too many. And he jumps down. He falls.
He gets blasted down.
Yeah, he's on fire. And
how did he even survive that fall?
He shouldn't have. Well, he survived another fall, so what does it matter? I don't know.
You're right. He fell out of a helicopter and he survived. So yeah,
you just gave him superpowers, but he's literally he looks like Ghost Rider, only he's not a skull.
Yeah.
And he's kicking the crap out of this guy. And I don't know. I guess they put him out of fire because then after this fight, we just see him. He's in the surgery.
No, he hallucinates again. He hallucinates again. And he kisses that Filipino stripper chick who was there.
He thinks it's Eve.
That didn't need to be a thing in the movie.
Yeah, and then he flicks us off. He flicks us, the viewers, off. As
he's burning up, as he's burning up.
And then during the credits, they show us that he is getting his heart, but he's all wrapped up like a mummy. Because he's probably, like I said, he should have died of third-degree burns. Eve's there.
He should have died right there because he was already on fire. He should have died right there on that roof or whatever.
They're shocking him back, and then, of course, they show his eyes open right at the end.
Yeah. So he somehow survives this. So I don't know, man. I don't know what to say, man. This movie was stupid to me. They made this for no reason. Did somebody have money to burn?
It was the same movie as the first movie.
Yeah, well, I'm not giving it the same grade. I'm giving it an F. I'm flagging this one down. I am flagging it down. This is really a step above A Karate Christmas Miracle. It's a step above that. So it's at the bottom of the barrel for me.
To me, it was just the same movie. I'm just gonna give it a B, just like I did last time. I'd watch it again.
Oh, I will.
It was stupid. It was stupid.
I will never watch this again.
It entertained me. It entertained me.
There's so many different things I would rather watch. Watch.
Oh, well, I agree, but I mean, I wouldn't go out of my way to find it, but it entertained me.
Yeah. All right.
But I will say,
man.
I thought I watched both these movies more than once, and I didn't. So I really forgot. I forgot a lot. So it was interesting to watch them again.
Wow.
The next one will be better. Don't worry.
Before we watch the next.
Fighting with Channing Tatum and Terrence Howard.
All right. Hopefully that's good. Is this supposed to be an action movie? Is it supposed to be like a competition? Like is he like an MMA fighter or something like that, or what's going on? Do you know?
Yeah, it's it has like a Lionheart feel to it.
Okay.
It's kind of similar to that. Lionheart means never back down. Maybe I think would be a more modern day version of those two movies.
Okay. All right. So we got to fill Angel in. I think Angel will be back with us next week. So we'll fill him in on what's going on. All right.
We had him a busy but real good weekend too, man.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Talk to him about all that.
I purposely didn't bring any of that up, so we'll talk about with him when he shows back up. So
yeah.
All right, man. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right, everyone. Stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week, and I will play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.